Today we have an apples to apples comparison of 3 of the cheapest MIG welders that I could find on Amazon. And I say this comparison is apples to apples. When I ordered these welders, they were all the same exact price. But from the time of ordering these welders to making the video, at least one of them has gotten cheaper. I'll leave a link for all the welders in the description box, and I'll find you the cheapest price so you don't have to look for it. So about 2 years ago, I did a review on a Harbor Freight welder. You may have seen it. It was the little Harbor Freight Fluxcore welder. That welder performed pretty dang good. But at the end of that video, I suggested that you should upgrade to the Harbor Freight 140 MIG. It's like a 140 amp MIG welder. Now the problem with upgrading to the 140 MIG is it's a $500 welder, but you can find it on sale a lot of times for like $369, which is a lot better, but still that's twice the price of the Fluxcore welder that Harbor Freight sells. Here recently I've been looking on Amazon and MIG welders have come down a lot, you know, in price. So I got 3 of the cheapest MIG welders I could find off of Amazon, and today we're going to run tests. We're going to flux weld with them and we're going to MIG weld with them, and we're going to see how they weld. The reason I say get a MIG welder instead of a Fluxcore welder, if you get a Fluxcore welder, you can only weld Fluxcore. You can never upgrade it to gas. If you get a MIG welder, you can weld Fluxcore on it, and later you can buy you a bottle and upgrade it to gas. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's check out these welders, see how they do. Okay, so the first welder up is the MIG 250 welding machine. This welder is made by Simner. Like I said, it's a MIG 250. And if you don't know what Simner is, I actually did another video about a Simner that could plasma cut and weld. That welder was pretty cool. This one is not the same size as that one. This one is actually a whole lot cheaper. I mean, it's a MIG welder. By the way, you can look online and you can find the welder for like 99 bucks. And you may go, that's not the cheapest welder on Amazon, but actually most of those welders are just Fluxcore only. This welder takes gas, which makes it MIG. I mean, it's not really MIG if you're not welding with gas. The Harbor Freight welder that I did a while back, and that welder used to be $200 like regular price, and it'd go on sale sometime for $169. But this welder is also $169. And it's MIG and Fluxcore. It's actually MIG, TIG, and you can weld stick with this welder. So that's kind of cool. And my first impressions of this welder, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, this thing right here is kind of confusing. I actually had to refer to the manual because I was like, what is that thing hanging off the front of that welder? But after I looked it up, it's really kind of simple and it's kind of neat. See, like my Miller, most welders have an internal way to change the polarity. And how you do that, you just switch these 2 wires. Well, that's exactly what this is. It's actually the polarity. You got a negative and you got a positive. This thing has a lot of different ways that you can weld. I mean, it's kind of cool if you think about it. Like this diagram right here. If you hook your ground, which is right here, up to this top connection, which is negative, and then you hook your stick lead, which is this one right here, up to your bottom connection, which is positive, then you basically have a stick welder that you can use. But if you take that wire on the bottom and you hook it up to the top, kind of like this right here, you just hook that bottom wire up to the top. Then you put your ground in the positive. You know, the ground. Well, of course your lead, it plugs in right here. Well, if you do that, you have gasless MIG welding, which technically is called Fluxcore. Then you can take gasless Fluxcore wire, like this that come with this set, and you can weld Fluxcore. But if you take this out, put it down here in the positive, if I can get it in there, you hook your ground up here, hook your lead up, then you're gonna have to hook up your gas. Then you can weld MIG. I mean, it's kind of cool. Actually, it gives you 4 different options. Like I said, there's even an option to weld TIG with this thing, but it does not come with the TIG torch, so you'll have to buy that separate, I guess. To me, one of the most important parts is the lead and how good it's made. And honestly, it's not that bad. I mean, it's made pretty decent. I don't think it's made quite as good as my Miller lead. You gotta remember, that's a $2,000 welder, and the Simner is a $169 welder. I mean, that's a big difference. So taking that into account, this lead is not that bad, really. It does come with a few extra tips too. It comes with gas hose so you can hook it up to weld MIG. It comes with a roll of Fluxcore wire to get you started. I guess that's so if you don't have a tank yet, you can start welding right away. Like I said before, it comes with a stick welder, and then you got your ground. And this actually is not the worst ground that I've ever seen. I've seen cheaper ones, but it's easy to buy grounds aftermarket. I mean, there's all kinds of grounds on Amazon if you don't like the one it comes with. Now, something else that's cool about this welder, it actually has a display. I actually like the knobs too over the buttons, but that's just me. I guess I'm old school. My Miller costs a lot more and it has nothing but knobs. It don't have a display on it. Now, one of the most important things to a welder is like the drive feed rollers, how they're made. And this one is all metal. I'll give them that. It's all metal. There's not a whole bunch of plastic in it. Don't really look that bad to me. I mean, it's okay. And again, to compare it to the Miller, it's not as good as the drive feed on the Miller, but again, this is a $2,000 welder. I mean, we gotta remember that. The spool holder and tensioner and everything, it is made out of plastic, but a spool holder don't really get a lot of abuse. But something else I do notice is this will hold a 1 pound spool and it'll hold up to a 10-pound spool. It looks like. Maybe it's a 5 pound. Let's throw a 10 pound on there and see. I just happen to have an extra 10-pound spool. Yep, it'll hold a 10-pound spool. That's pretty cool. It looks like it'll run it just fine. I mean, everything lines up right. See this wheel right here? It says 1 millimeter. Then if you flip it over, it says 0.8 millimeters. I like standard American measurements better. This one here reads by millimeters. I guess I'm just used to the way all other welders read. Like for instance, mine says 0.024, 0.035, and up here it says 0.03. I mean, it's standard measurements. A lot of times on your wire, it's going to just have standard measurements like 0.03, like on this Hobart right here. But a lot of other wires is going to have both, like 0.035, 0.9 millimeters. So it basically tells you what it is. But you notice the 0.035 is 0.9 millimeters. And this wheel right here says 1 millimeter and 0.8 millimeters. So basically what it's saying is you can use 0.30 or you can use 0.40. But like I said, this isn't a deal breaker. It's just something I'm not used to. What's going to matter the most is how good it welds. I mean, when it comes right down to it, that's really what matters the most. Does it weld? So the next welder we're going to be checking out is the Arc Captain. This right here is pretty much everything that comes with this welder. You can also stick weld with this welder if you want to stick weld. However, I don't see anything on this welder that indicates that you can TIG weld with it. But it does have a gas port on the back, just like the other welder, which means you can weld MIG or Fluxcore. And it comes with a roll of Fluxcore wire to get you started. This welder is wired up for 240, but it has this adapter right here that allows you to run it on 120, which is one of my favorite ways to weld. Comes with a gas hose. It comes with some extra tips. It's got a ground wire, of course. You gotta have a ground. And something that really stands out with this welder to me more than the other one, if you like a light welder, this thing don't weigh nothing. I mean, that's kind of cool. I even like these little clips they put on it so you can lock it shut. I mean, these clips might not be everybody's cup of tea, but if you're using it for a portable welder, that's just awesome right there. Instead of loading it on the side like the last welder, this one loads from the top. And right away I can tell this one doesn't have as much metal in it. You know, on the feed, I mean, it doesn't have as much metal. It's more plastic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We'll just have to find out how good it welds. I'm gonna check the rollers on this thing. This one has a 0.9 and a 0.8, but it also comes with an extra roller, which the other one didn't. I mean, I guess that's cool. I ain't never wore out the roller on my Miller, but that's still cool that you get an extra one. And the main advantage I see of the other one, this welder is only going to be able to hold like a 2-pound spool. I might be wrong. You might can get a 5-pound spool in there, but you're not going to be able to get a 10-pound spool in there. It's too small, which most beginners don't buy 10-pound spools. It also has like one knob, a couple of buttons, and it's got an LCD readout. Plug it up and see what it looks like. I did go online and look to see if this thing had a speed adjustment. You got your like current knob, you've got a mode knob, and that right there is like for MIG or Fluxcore. This one would be for stick. This one would be for TIG. So this one does do TIG welding, but it doesn't come with a TIG torch. So that's something you'll have to buy separate. The only way that I could see you could adjust the speed is by adjusting the wire size, because you can do 0.30, 40, or 35. Change the wire size. What it's doing is changing the speed, I guess. This arc cap then also comes with this little thing right here that I'd never seen before. And it's made to where you can plug it in one side or the other. So you could do Fluxcore, MIG, TIG, and stick. I guess I've been using the same welder for too long, because this is something new, but it looks like it would actually work good. I mean, I'm willing to give it a chance. Next up, we have a Yes welder. Yes. It's a Yes welder. I've never used a Yes welder, but I've heard good things about them anyway. So let's get into this box. I really like this control cover. It's kind of cool. I mean, is it a deal breaker? No, because I ain't never had one, but still kind of cool. This welder comes with your instruction manual that tells you how everything works. It comes with an extra roller. It's got 0.8 millimeters and 0.9 millimeters. It also comes with 2 extra tips. It comes with some gas hose, which it looks like decent gas hose. All of them have been decent gas hose so far. They feel pretty good. It comes with a stick welder lead, which is about like the other two. And of course, it comes with a ground clamp. And this ground clamp seems like it's made really good. I mean, is it the best one I've ever seen? No, but it's still made pretty dang good. Now, Yes welder also gives you a setup chart. It's got all your thicknesses and your settings. And over here on the side, it's got all your polarity settings, depending on what you're welding. That's kind of cool. Now, this chart is actually a sticker. So what you can do is open up the side of your welder and you can stick this chart to the lid right here. That way you'll always have it handy if you need it. Fits on there pretty good. Kind of like on my Miller welder, it has a chart right here on the door. So when you open up the door, you got this chart to look at. And I don't always use the chart, but the chart is a good starting point to get you set up when you're welding. Now this Yes welder also looks like it'll hold a 10-pound spool. I'm pretty sure. I measured it. It looks like the same measurements as my Miller. And the drive feed, well, it looks like it's mostly plastic. That don't mean it's bad or it's going to tear up, but I would prefer a metal drive feed, and that's just me. Everybody has their own preference. I'm waiting right now to see if the fan cuts off or not. Anytime you cut any welder on, the fan's going to cut on. It's just an automatic response. My Miller does it, all of them do it. But I want to see if it cuts off. Well, it's been a little bit and the fan's not cutting off, so I guess it's got a continuous fan. In other words, it runs the whole time the welder's on. The other two have automatic fans. They'll run a little bit, cut off. So they only run when they're hot. This one just runs continuously, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's going to keep your welder cool, but the fan's always going to be on. On the left, you have voltage. You got 2 dials, one for voltage and one for amps. You also got welding modes. You got MIG and Fluxcore. You got stick, and you got lift TIG. Now, if you put it on MIG and Fluxcore, then you can come down here. It's got 100% CO2. It's got mixed gas, which is what most people run when they're MIG welding, like a 75-25 mixture. And you have gasless, and gasless would be for Fluxcore. And on the other side, you have a wire size. You got 0.30 and 0.35. Up here on this function, you got T2 and you got T4, which I've never had on a welder, but it's kind of cool. If you have this welder on T2, then it's going to work like a regular welder. Push this button and it's going to weld. You let go of the button, it's going to stop. But if you put it on T4 and you push the button, you can let go and it'll keep welding. And then when you mash the button and let it go again, it'll stop. So it's kind of an automatic welding feature, which I've never tried. That's really interesting though. I'm gonna have to try that. So I guess the only thing left to do is weld with these things, because that's what really matters, if they weld good. Alright, so up first is the Simner welder. We got it set up on Fluxcore, all ready to go. This is a Blue Devil Fluxcore, something I got off Amazon. I hope it works good. We got it set on Fluxcore, but on the wire size on this one, it goes from 1 millimeter, which is 0.040, and you can do 0.8, which is 0.030. There is no in between, so we're gonna have to experiment with that a little bit, because we're running 0.9. Most of you guys know my buddy David Buff, master welder. Can you see? Yes, I have my own master welder. Anyway, he's on vacation this week, so I've gotten us a substitute. So I got another professional welder to help me out here. Does he look familiar?
Hey, I done told you to stay out of my pool. Riley, Kill, get your tail back here.
You ready? It don't look too bad. It's cleaned up. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, looks better than my Fluxcore. I cannot weld Fluxcore.
Well, I mean, with some practice, but I haven't welded Fluxcore in years.
That's why I'm letting you do it. I think it looks pretty good.
I do too.
It's not bad. We're feeding in the regular wire, and we're gonna run it on MIG. Basically means we gotta hook the gas up.
I'm kind of impressed with the price of it already.
All right.
And how it performs.
It did do good. If it does good with MIG, I'm really gonna be impressed. For $160, I mean. Also, this thing has a great burn-in. I mean, that's a good looking burn-in right there. That was the original practice piece. Look at the burn-in on that. And look at that ugly weld on it. We amateurs. You think MIG's easier? I think MIG's easier than dragging. Yeah. Dragging Fluxcore is something you gotta get used to.
You gotta get used to it.
If you can Fluxcore, you can MIG well. Here goes the MIG. Okay, so this was the Fluxcore with the Simner. This was the MIG weld with the Simner, but we realized we didn't switch to polarity because we're a couple of rookies. We weld, but we don't like switch back and forth Fluxcore MIG a lot. But anyway, we got it hooked up right now, and we're gonna try it again because it's gotta look better than that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That was with the polarity backward. That's with it right. That looks a lot better. All right, so up next is the arc captain. We got some Fluxcore wire already set up in it. All the settings right. Yeah, the wire size is right. We'll have to adjust the amps, figure it out. This one don't really have a wire speed either, but you have 3 settings. You can go 40, 35, and 30. I guess that would change your wire speed. What do you think?
I think it would.
We found out experimenting that changing the wire size does change your speed. That don't look half bad. I think you're getting better.
I'd like to know how many years it has been since I've done this.
I don't know if it's the welder or just your welding's improving, but I didn't clean it too good. Let me get the wire brush. Yeah, that don't look half bad. Better than I can do. So we actually remembered to change our polarity this time. Okay, we got the MIG wire in it. We got the gas bottle hooked up. We're ready to try out the MIG on this thing. And hopefully it'll do good since we changed the polarity this time.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, that's a lot better.
That's a whole lot more better.
A whole lot more better than Fluxcore. Did it feel better?
It felt better.
So this is the MIG and this is the Fluxcore. But they're both good welds. Let's check the burn-in. Yeah, they're both good welds. They'll hold. That's pretty good. All right, last but not least, we got our yes welder. The first test, we're running Fluxcore on it. We're feeding it through right now. All right, here goes the Fluxcore on the yes welder. Looks pretty good. I think you get better.
It's been a while. Yeah,
that looks pretty dang good right there, man. That's not bad for Fluxcore. Actually, that's the best one yet. I don't know if it's the welder, the yes welder, or if you're just getting better. All right, so we got the MIG wire back on it. Got our gas hooked up. We changed all the settings, put it on mixed gas, MIG, T2, and we got it set on 30. Even though we're running 35 wire, we got it set on 30 because 30 speeds up your wire feed just a little bit. We noticed doing the last couple of welders. All right, yes welder time. Thing got some heat, boy. We turned the heat way down. It still got some heat. That's a good looking weld there. See the burn through. Oh yeah, all the burn throughs look good.
A little bit of adjusting once you learn it.
Yeah, once you get it set up just right, I think this thing's gonna weld really good. All right, so something interesting about the yes welder, the nozzle is threaded. All the rest of them are push-ons. So you can take an actual Fluxcore nozzle from Harbor Freight and it'll fit right on this yes welder, so you can actually use a Fluxcore nozzle if you want to. So we're going to run an experiment, and you can do this with all 3 welders. It's not just this welder, we're just doing it with the yes welder. But we got Fluxcore wire and we still got our gas hooked up, and that's called double shield. Don't look bad at all. That's double shield pretty well for Fluxcore. All right, so we checked out these 3 welders. What'd you think?
I like all of them.
Would you pick one if you had to?
Not over another one. I think for the money, I don't think you could go wrong with either one of them.
Now there are things we liked about each one of these welders better than others. What was your favorite things about them?
Like this one, I like the screw-on nozzle. But it's personal preference stuff. A lot of it's just personal preference.
The ground's cheapest on the Art Captain. It's definitely cheap. But that's not a game changer. Grounds don't cost much. You can change that out. Ground on the yes welder had to be the best one. It's heavy duty. The Simner's not bad. Little flimsy.
Not bad. But a lot of them too is the angle of the torque.
Yeah.
It depends. Then that's all personal preference.
Now, I did like the drive on the Simner the best. I mean, as far as drives go. It had more metal in it. It's not a professional drive. I mean, it don't look like the Millers. Seems like I like metal better on though.
I do too.
Adjustment wise, it seems like the Simner and the yes welder have way more adjustment than the Art Captain. But look at them. This thing don't weigh nothing. If you're going to be using Fluxcore and you're going to be taking it out in the field and using it, that's the winner right there. Yeah. I mean, and weldability. I mean, that's the Art Captain. It did a very nice weld, but the yes welder did a good weld. They all welded good. That's a hard pick, because they're all the same exact price. Price would be my thing. If I had to pick one, and they're all the same. Yeah. I think that if a person wanted to learn to weld, this would be their best option, because they could start out with Fluxcore and not have to buy an expensive tank of gas. And those tanks are expensive. Now you could buy a Fluxcore only welder. They're actually a little bit cheaper. But if you decide you like it, you're gonna have to buy a whole new welder if you wanna go to MIG later. So you have to make that choice yourself. And I don't think you'll be mad getting any of these welders. It really just depends on the features that you want. That's how you're gonna have to pick one of these out. Anyway, if you like this video, then you're gonna like this video. So go check it out. I'm serious, go check it out, because this video is over.